Hi, do you feel like practicing some English with me today? I hope so. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about moose. Now, you can see on my board here, I have a picture of a moose, and it is something that we find here in North America. In other parts of the world, there are similar animals, but they call them elk. Here in Canada, elk are a different beast. They're bigger than a deer, about the size maybe of a caribou, but maybe a little bit bigger, but not as big as a moose. Now, moose, and in the plural we call them moose also. There's no S. We don't say mooses, we say moose. Moose have antlers. We can see the. Now, the male moose have antlers, but the female don't. And these are the ones that we recognize pretty quickly because of their antlers when we see them. However, females are pretty easy to identify also. Now, at the end of today's video, I'm going to tell you a little story of an incident that I had with a moose when I was traveling in Nova Scotia. So I'll tell you that a little bit later. Now, the word moose comes from an Algonquin word meaning eaters of twigs. When I use the word Algonquin, I'm talking about one of the groups of our First Nations people, Algonquin. So they use this word moose, and it makes sense because moose do eat twigs, they eat branches, they eat leaves, maybe even bark sometimes in order to nourish themselves. Now, we have a place in Quebec called Rimouski, and Rimouski comes from a Mi'kmaq word meaning land of the moose. So that makes sense because in that part of Quebec also, there are quite a few moose. You see signs when you're driving on the highway to be careful so that you don't hit any moose when you're driving, especially in the evening. That can be very dangerous. So let's practice a text that I've written for you about the moose. I'll go through the text first, as usual, and then I'll let you repeat after me in the second part. And in the third part, you can read it to me. And in the fourth part, I would like you to read it with me, but without your voice. So you'll be getting lots of practice. Are you ready to start? So follow with me. Have you ever seen a real moose? Here in North America, these huge herbivorous mammals inhabit arboreal forests. Male moose, called bulls, stand approximately 2 meters tall and can weigh between 450 and 500 kilograms. Bulls have huge antlers, while cow moose have none. Moose mating season is in the fall, and baby calves are born in early spring. Moose hunting is a very popular autumn sport for wild game hunting enthusiasts. During hunting season, hunters use homemade and commercial devices to imitate the call of female moose, thus attracting bull moose. Moose meat is highly appreciated by those who enjoy an earthy, subtly rich tasting venison. In Canada, provincial laws control hunting permits to assure the preservation of the wild animal population. Hopefully, these majestic woodland beasts will never become endangered by overhunting or climate change. Now that text was not easy, was it? Okay? It'll be quite challenging. So, I'd like you to repeat after me. 1. Have you ever seen a real moose? 2. Here in North America, these huge herbivorous mammals inhabit arboreal forests. Repeat. 3. Male moose, called bulls, stand approximately 2 meters tall and can weigh between 450 and 500 kilograms. Repeat. 4. Bulls have huge antlers, while cow moose have none. Repeat. 5. Moose mating season is in the fall, and baby calves are born in early spring. Repeat. 6. Moose hunting is a very popular autumn sport for wild game hunting enthusiasts. Repeat. 7. During hunting season, hunters use homemade and commercial devices to imitate the call of female moose, thus attracting bull moose. Repeat. 8. Moose meat is highly appreciated by those who enjoy an earthy, subtly rich tasting venison. Repeat. 9. In Canada, provincial laws control hunting permits to assure the preservation of the wild animal population. Repeat. 10. Hopefully, these majestic woodland beasts will never become endangered by overhunting or climate change. Repeat. 'Now this time I'd like you to go back and I'd like you to read at the same time as me, but don't use your voice, so speak at the same time. Are you ready? 1. Have you ever seen a real moose? 2. Here in North America, these huge herbivorous mammals inhabit arboreal forests. 3. Male moose, called bulls, stand approximately 2 meters tall and can weigh between 450 and 500 kilograms. 4. Bulls have huge antlers, while cow moose have none. 5. Moose mating season is in the fall, and baby calves are born in early spring. 6. Moose hunting is a very popular autumn sport for wild game hunting enthusiasts. 7. During hunting season, hunters use homemade and commercial devices to imitate the call of female moose, thus attracting bull moose. 8. Moose meat is highly appreciated by those who enjoy an earthy, subtly rich tasting venison. 9. In Canada, provincial laws control hunting permits to assure the preservation of the wild animal population. 10. Hopefully, these majestic woodland beasts will never become endangered by overhunting or climate change. Now let's go back again, and this time I'll say the number and you read the text to me. Are you ready? Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Number 8. Number 9. Number 10. Now that was great practice. There were a lot of words that were not the easiest words to pronounce. So, if you had troubles, go back and practice with me again. Now, I promised a story at the end, so here it is. So this happened to me quite a few years ago, and at that time I had a girlfriend who was traveling with me in Cape Breton. And it was around, I'd say, 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, so the sun was starting to set. And we were on our way to a hotel, a resort in Cape Breton. So we were driving, and we were driving on a road that was near the woods and the ocean, and also there was a golf course which was not too far away. But anyways, we were talking and I was driving, and maybe I was not as attentive as I should have been. But anyways, as I was coming around a curve, my girlfriend said, "John," that's my real name, John Charles, and I looked and there was a moose in the middle of the road. And I stopped, I put on the brakes. I was pretty close to hitting that moose, and I must tell you, it really scared me a lot. But the moose looked at us and then continued crossing. Now, it wasn't a male moose. It had no antlers. It was a cow moose or a female moose. So she just kept on her way, crossing the road, and left us alone. She didn't come charging the vehicle or whatever. Well, that's my story with the moose. But I'll tell you, the next time I was driving in that area of the province, and anywhere really when you're driving in the evening near wooded areas, you have to be careful, because if it's not moose, it could be deer, it could be skunks, whatever. However, if you hit a skunk, it's not as dangerous as if you hit a moose or a deer, I must say. Well, I'll say goodbye to you for today, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.